The 2024 Model Year End Sales Event has officially arrived at the Daytona Auto Mall. That's right, the best offers of the year are here. Every new 24 model will be red tagged, so you see the best deals on the spot. Plus, several models are being offered at 0% financing.
Magic Music Production. Magic Music Production.
3 a.m. TikTok. You can get your shit rocked. It's greasy, sleazy, but we make it look easy. Hot waffles, hot grits. Don't come here trying to pop shit. That's gonna get you dropped quick. It's the South. Everybody got a blick.
If I dare you to ask me the question, what is chess?
I forgot to, because I've had my computer off while I was gone, and I forgot to be like, hey, let me activate all the things I need to so that all of my little activatable things don't explode. You know, but all right, now so I can make sure this works appropriately. Ultra test. And then does that show up? And also I gotta fix this, but I just gotta make sure. Hold on, it's being all about
By daring to ask the question, what is chess? By daring to ask the question, what is chess?
But I had to. Okay.
You want some?
In 20 seconds.
We'll come and get it.
Okay. We're through with all that. I'm almost positive. I'm almost positive. I'm not positive. I'm positive enough to feel good. Okay. After all that, hi Cam, hi Charm, hi Caracal, hi Flower Crown, hi Abscess. I was like, I thought I saw Abscess in here. Okay. I have a job interview at a law office on Monday, so I bought a new interview outfit today and went and got my hair did and beard. Hell yes, we like that. As you can see, I got the side shave going. I got all cleaned up for my PAX West trip. I understand that. Even recreated a cacophony. I can now finish the song.
Everybody gotta blink. The scene ain't pretty, but the waffles on 10. What's your order? Don't make me ask your bitch ass again. You might get a fight, but the price is real right. We got an attitude, because we're slaving all night. It's the Waffle House. We gon' keep it straight hood with you. Waffle House. Until you tried us, ain't nothing good hit you. Waffle House. 3 a.m. So what your other options, bitch? Waffle House ratchet. But we the ones that you rockin' with.
In my wallet, it's 110 plus 110 plus 30 cents. It's not enough to pay the rent, but still well spent. Up in my Ford Expedition, it's covered with dents. Plus it's got vitiligo, cause the heat does not relent. That means it's hot as fuck. Plus I still make Oni. Also Oni is my truck. I love this song so fucking much. Caracal, I'm so glad I found it was on Spotify. I didn't impulse. Baldur's Gate's on sale for Drum Mix off. I fully endorse. I fully endorse. An excellent choice. That is everlasting, and so I pulled up to the Waffle House. Here's my silent comfort, I just need. And now, heart is heavy on it, and I scream and shout. Married to these thoughts like I don't need a spouse. Hey, hey,
it's the Waffle House. We gon' keep it straight hood with you. Waffle House. Until you tried us, ain't nothing good hit you. Waffle House. 3 a.m. So what your other options, bitch? Waffle House ratchet. But we the ones that you rockin' with.
Honestly, the tone of the song, the shift from like the smoothness to the rap, the not rap breakdown, but rap, it is a rap breakdown, but like it gives me like Outcast vibes. Very different because that dude does not have Big Boy's flow, and obviously the higher part is very much not Andre, but who the fuck is? But I'm just talking the combination of elements. It feels like if you told me that they were like, yeah, our inspiration was Speaker Box The Love Below. I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, obviously. But what the fuck else would it be? Like, that would just make sense to me. But how's everybody doing? It's good to see y'all. Like I said, being gone, but I'm back again. Been gone for a minute, but I'm back again. I am turd. As the kids would say, I'm turd. I am very turd. But overall, okay. PAX was... The sum total of shit I set up for myself was... I was meeting with Ocean Drive Studios... on is that free Feely Anderson Paak and Brit. Exactly. That's another great example. That's sort of the music is actually dope, but also they ain't taking shit serious. Like, that was one of my favorite things when I saw the Bruno Mars and Gaga video for their new song. Very specifically, the way I described it to... Though I was describing it to someone, and they were like, is it any good? And I was like, so here's the thing. I'm going to describe it in the best way I can, which is Bruno Mars is categorically unable to make bad music. Like, he is so ridiculously musically talented. He also has not taken shit serious a single fucking day in his life. Like, not one day. Like, there was never a day, not one, where Bruno Mars woke up and was like, I should be serious today. That is a thing that has never happened. It just never happened. The closest he came was with Grenade, and he's still talking about catching a grenade for someone. So, like... Okay? But he's like I said, brilliant cat musically. Just unable to do shit serious. I think Smoking Out the Window is maybe the single greatest example of that, because it's such a brilliant song musically, but also it is a song that includes the line, not to be dramatic, but I want to die. I appreciate you, Dorian. Wait, Bruno Mars has a gambling habit? How the fuck did that even come to public light? Like, how? I'm not shocked, to be clear. I'm very much so like, oh yeah. Yeah, he probably does. Like, there's no part of me that's like, oh no, that's not possible. Like, so no, that's super fucking possible. To be very clear. We all have a gambling habit. That's actually kind of true. Gambling is very addicting. That's why I have to set hard limits on very, very hard limits on myself for me to be willing to indulge with sports betting, which I won me a tidy little $30 this week because, shock and awe, the Eagles got Saquon Barkley and decided to use Saquon Barkley. Who the fuck could have seen that coming? The Silly Boy vibe is why he hits so good. 100%. 100%. It is honestly an offshoot of my long-held statement / belief where I point out, like, the same thing with actors. Comedy actors can do drama, The inverse is rarely true. It's because in order to effectively do comedy, in order to be very effective in making people laugh, you have to understand human emotions and you have to understand the rhythm and timing of a moment. And so it kind of feeds into drama. You're able to be dramatic because you understand human emotions and how to pull out the rhythm and drama of a moment. I think my favorite example of that is people like, there are so many riveting, wonderful actors who give amazing performances. Like, no, they're comedians first and foremost. But I love when I get to, for anyone who does not properly know his career, get to point out, like, hey folks, Tom Hanks is a comic actor. He got his career started in comedy. And then people went, let's try and put him in something serious. And he starred in Philadelphia, and he immediately won a fucking Oscar. Immediately. There was no, it was... And fun fact about that, thanks to the movie Philadelphia is the reason why we got robbed of the opportunity to see Tom Hanks as Mario. He was almost Mario in the 1990s Mario Brothers movie instead of Bob Hoskins. But when they were inking the contracts and when they were going back and forth and everything, they had him locked down. Their first choice was Danny DeVito, but they were having scripting issues, so Danny DeVito passed. Then they were trying to go after Dustin Hoffman, but something also fell through there. Then they got in contact with Tom Hanks, and they signed on, and he was excited for it. He signed on, but like that year they came out with oh God, give me a second. I will look up his IMDb because it's one of those where it's like, when you break it all down, you're like, oh shit. And it's just like, okay, give me 1 second. I'm getting where I need to go in the background because I was not where I needed to be to continue things. Cool. Tom Hanks, IMDb. It's also gonna take me a minute to scroll. Okay, not producer. I need actor. Actor. Previous. Tom Hanks, as of the current offshoot projects, is going to only have been in 100 movies. I know I say only, but it feels like that's a longer list because he's been so prolific for so long. Okay, late 80s. He was in Big, Punchline, Turner and Hooch. Oh, that's what it was. It was 1989 into 1990. Turner and Hooch was considered like... That's why I said only 100, but like... Okay, here's a better example of what I mean. Now, granted, he is literally nothing short of prolific in terms of how many movies he's done. But Samuel L. Jackson has been active for vaguely as long as an actor. In fact, it might be less long. He started in 72, and okay, Tom Hanks did start later, but Samuel L. Jackson took a little bit before he really had a breakout. But Samuel L. Jackson has been well over 200. So that's what I'm saying, is like, that 8-year gap at the beginning, especially when Tom Hanks got, we can talk about systemic racism and white privilege and all that, but Tom Hanks got his shot much earlier with things like Big. Then Samuel L. Jackson got to be a leading man. And so that's what I'm saying, like, the difference is, but yeah, they were in talks to figure out who was going to play who in the around 1991-ish, when they were in contract talks. And so his most recent movies going from oldest to newest, it was Turner and Hooch, which it was considered like, it's fine. It's comedy. It's okay. Then it was Joe versus the Volcano, which was just like, it's slightly less fine. And then The Bonfire of the Vanities, which was just bad. Like, people did not like that fucking movie. It was just bad. And so his stock was that was like the literal absolute lowest point of Tom Hanks' career outside of the very beginning when he was trying to get established, that they were having contract talks. So they got cold feet and they moved on. They said no. And then they ended up finding Bob Hoskins. And then Super Mario Brothers movie came out in 1993. And so did Philadelphia, starring Tom Hanks, where he plays a gay man dying of AIDS and won his first of many Oscars. Or, excuse me, his first of many, like, big-time awards, I should say. Because I think he only has, shockingly, like, 2 Oscars. He's been nominated a ton, but I think he only actually has won 2 of them. Cam, that's my brain. So yeah, the long and short of it, I don't know how we got here, but I do know comedy actors can be dramatic. Here's a great example. Did y'all see, what is it called? Harper and Will is the name of it? Will and Harper. Okay. The long and short of it is former SNL writer Harper Steele came out as a trans woman, and Will Ferrell has decided to make a fucking documentary style movie that's going on Netflix, essentially about the two of them road tripping and being like, well, let's learn about each other, let's learn about this transition, and let's just do things and be friends. And like, you can already tell. Now, even in the trailer, he's telling jokes, but you can tell this is just going to be him and be real, and it's going to be very raw, and there's going to be a lot of emotion. Same thing when Will Ferrell was in Stranger Than Fiction. I'm sorry, he did fucking great in that movie. People just didn't want to accept it because Will Ferrell, funny man. Dorian, you brought up Robin Williams. 1 hour photo is truly and genuinely one of the creepiest fucking movies ever made. Creepy. It's the type of movie that makes your skin crawl. Because it is so close to, like, it's a thing where you look and you're like, oh, this could happen. This could 100% happen. A guy, like, getting this close to people because he doesn't have the people or the support system or anything in his life. Like, oh yeah, that could happen. 100%. Like, yeah. Creepy. Just 1 second. Creepy. A Bicentennial Man. I love Bicentennial Man. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen Bicentennial Man in my life. And I'm just imagining him with all those... The amount of work that went into that costuming day by day. Brilliant. That Becomes Her is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it wouldn't work without Meryl Streep's acting. So Meryl Streep, I actually argue, is the rare inverse. Meryl Streep is, she is a drama actor through and through. She is just so phenomenal. She is one of the few who has learned how to figure out how to be funny. She's also had some absolutely hilarious deliveries in The Devil Wears Prada, in August Osage County, but like... Meryl Streep is a dramatic actress. She is drama. She is also... She is nothing short of a generational talent in terms of performance. Let me talk about this real quick. So, some of y'all have seen I did a real stupid fucking video on TikTok of what if Gilbert Gottfried played Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3. And that's rooted in somewhere between the beginning of this year and now. I have become like genuine friends with Sam Barrett, Samantha Bayard, the voice actress for Karlach. And we were messaging, and somehow my stupid ass Gilbert Gottfried things came up. And I was just like, and I just offhandedly, because I've also gotten to meet and connect with Ben Starr, the voice of Clive, I was like, maybe I should do it for Karlach and Clive. And I just got back in all caps, just, you have to do it, please. It was great. But Sam Bayard, I was trying to decide, like, what line am I going to do? What part am I going to do if I'm going to do Karlach? And I gotta be real. Doing that shit is harder when you know the person. Because, like, when I'm doing Denzel Washington's speech and Training Day, whatever, I can pick whatever. I don't fucking know Denzel. I'm never gonna know Denzel. Okay? I respect him, but, like, there's no personal connection there. And so, like, I can grab whatever, and it's funny that I'm grabbing a serious moment and making it funny. But it became harder because, like, I was considering doing Karlach's whole... Spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3 to a degree, but Karlach's whole breakdown after defeating Gortash. And I was just like, I can't, because I went back and re-listened to it, and I was getting emotional. I was like, my friend is so goddamn good at this. They're so good at acting. So I was like, nope, can't do that. So it made it harder. But then I was like, okay, we gotta do... I was considering doing the... sorry, I'm kind of hobbling around. I had to turn off that light because it was messing up the camera. I was considering doing the fourth wall break. Nah. So I gotta figure it out. I also gotta figure out some good lines for Clive, but I gotta be real with y'all, because Charm asked for some PAX deets. So the first day of PAX, which was the Thursday of it, the vast majority of the day, it was me and Sethi walking around with Sam Bayard. And so, also, by the way, my panel is going to be up on YouTube tomorrow. We did get it recorded. There's a 55-second section in the middle that doesn't have any video, but I spliced in throughout the whole panel throughout the video, I should say, the various, like, panels I had on my projector presentation. So I just put it there, and I was like, hey, y'all, this is what happened here, so it's fine. But you still have all the audio. You didn't lose out on any of the content. You just didn't get to see what's going on. Ben Starr was originally going to be on the panel because we were having a conversation back at PAX East that Ben was a part of. And Ben was the one who kind of asked the question that became the inception point for the idea of the panel as I wanted to do it. But he wasn't sure he was going to be able to make it to PAX West. So it's like, okay, whatever, cool. And then it turns out he was able to make it. So Sam dressed up, like had a full head-to-toe cosplay as Clive from 16 to show up to see him and, like, make it a thing. And it's funny because they're such close friends. So we were walking around, and let me tell you how my PAX started. Outside of, like, the day I get there and getting the badge and all that. Like, my first real day of we're gonna go hit the floor and do things. We're walking into the building. So Sam had a little stuffed dog. And it's the actual, like, Torgal that Square Enix was selling. The actual stuffed Torgal. And she had that with her. And we kept joking and doing the Clive voice all day. And just being like, I'm Clive Rossfeld. And at one point I was like, when you see Ben, you need to, like, sick him Torgal and, like, throw the dog at him. And we laughed, whatever, cool. We're walking into the building. I'm walking up the steps of the Seattle Convention Center, and just out of nowhere from behind me, I just hear "Sick'em Toggle," and they fucking hurl the dog at my head, beans me in directly in the head, and I'm unprepared, so I almost fell down the stairs. I was very close. It was a good time. But the other thing is, we kept making running gags, and the main one that had to be pointed out is Clive Rossfeld. He's a virgin. He's never fucked. That's it. And we kept joking several things. Toggle ran away. There's this company, Lethal Shadows, I want to say. They sell TTRPG miniatures and things like that. And they have what I refer to as legally distinct Final Fantasy products. Like they have you know what I'm talking about, Flower Crown. They have like an Ifrit that's very clearly Ifrit. Okay? They have a black mage that's clearly Vivi, but they call it like Trollo or whatever. And then they have chocobos, but they call them rokobos. Rokobo. Charm, you knew what I was bringing up. The legally distinct chocobos. Well, we saw those, and so that kind of added to the lore of God. It's like, they made Ambrosia so small. I can't ride her anymore. She's too small. Jill wants such serious things. I've already held her hand. What am I supposed to do? Okay, so we were joking. I was like, and the thing is, what's really great is I got into an argument with my very good friend John. He formerly Magitech Dad on Twitter. John Phipps of the SDGC podcast. Because we were all arguing back and forth, and John's like, Clive and Jill fucked. Come on. I looked, I was like, John, Clive and Jill never fucked, and here's how I know. There is a scene in Final Fantasy XVI. I streamed it. I'm allowed to say this. If this is a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. I fucking streamed the whole game. There is a scene where Clive and Jill are on a beach, naked, embracing each other. There's also a scene in the game where Clive and Jill share their first kiss. That scene comes after the beach. Okay? Okay, Clive has never had sex. Not once in his life. I'm sorry, them's the facts. So, I was messaging with Sam, because we kept joking, I'm Clive Rossfeld. I've never fucked. Just, that was one thing we would keep saying. So, I have to make... When I make the video, I'm gonna tag Ben and like joke around and mess with him. But there's a part of me that really wants to have the quote be, I'm Clive Rossfeld and I have never fucked. But I feel like it won't. Like, that was an in-joke. But it's in here. It's for me. I might make a special cut just to send to Ben and Sam and everyone else who was there. Ain't nothing wrong with a nudie beach, but you're not going to tell me a character is fucked if they're embracing each other while naked, and the most vicious action that comes between them is they have their hands out and they, like, clasp them around each other. I'm sorry, that's a character who has never fucked. It's not an insult, it's just a fact. And here's the thing, you can, and I want to be very clear. I want to be very, very clear, because I love Clive. I think he's genuinely and truly one of the goodest boys in Final Fantasy history. Like, he is likable, he is kind, he engages with everyone around him. Clive is truly one of the goodest boys. So Clive fucks, but Clive has never fucked. Like, these two things are held in equally true weight. Okay, Clive fucks, but Clive has never fucked. These are... It's called an open... God damn it. Just a tour. Just a tour. You gotta see what's going on. Take a look under the hood. You know, check out the bathrooms. I got this friendship bracelet from my friend Jackie. the community manager of Star Wars: The Old Republic. It says SWTOR. I've been wearing it. I realized today, I'm like, I've been wearing this the whole time. I want to see Ben Starr again solely, so I'm not sitting across from him looking like a sleep paralysis demon. Every time we made eye contact, he looked concerned. So, it could be worse. Okay. It could be worse. I did say I got invited to 3 things, or I had 3 things planned before I got there. Saturday morning, I was meeting with Ocean Drive Studios. I got to check out the latest build of Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch. Guys, I'm so excited for this fucking game. They did some updates to the artwork. Ah, shit, I'm gonna have to get up again. I will in a second. They did some updates to the character artwork. I really like it. I like it a ton. And it really emphasizes the majority of the cast is non-white. And that feels awesome. Like, out of 9 characters, 5 of them default to non-white, and the main character can either be white or not white. Your call. I got to check out the latest build. They've made some adjustments. They've made some changes. And it's just little tweaks, but it adds so much. You can swing the camera around 360 degrees on the map, and it really just adds to the immersion of it. Also, while I was there, I found out, like, they really fucking like me for whatever reason. I walked up to the booth, and it was on Friday. My thing was on Saturday, but I just walked up to say, hi. And as I walked up, the girl who is my point of contact with them saw me and immediately was like, "Oh, Anoriand!" Huh? Like, they knows me on site, and not just her. We ended up going back on Monday because I secured Sephi a slot so she could try the game, which, by the way, she's fucking excited for it. I could tell she was hooked. She was done with her little demo thing, and she looked back, and I just see this face. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, she's fucked. She is. Ding! So she wants to be part of the rollout too. But while I was there on the Monday, they were like, hold on, I want to introduce you to some people. She introduced me to their narrative designer. I got to talk to him for a bit. That was awesome. She also introduced me to Jin-Sang Kim. I inverted those vowels there. Jin-Sang Kim. He is the creative director for the company. And we spoke for a bit. The thing is, I was like, hi, my name's Josh. I go by Anoriand. And he was immediately like, oh, no, I know who you are. I've seen your YouTube stuff. And I was just like... But we talked for a bit. Cam, the company's called Ocean Drive Studios. They have 1 game out already. It's called Lost Eidolons. They're currently working on 3 more games. The main one, which I've already shown off, is Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch. Lost Eidolons is a 3D strategy RPG with a top-down view. It is very much so, what if Fire Emblem had Dragon Age aesthetics in terms of character design? Very, very good game. Very good. The new one is a spin-off. You do not need to have played the first one. It is just, my attention is over the place. Oh, no problem. The new one is a spin-off, but it is a roguelike. And it's going to be superb. I also got to check out a new game they have coming out called God Save Birmingham. They are... Me personally, if I hear, oh, I know of you, I'm immediately no, Caracal. It's because they've, like... Someone told me before, like, no, they've shown my reviews around the office and stuff. And I thought they were just saying that. But apparently they meant it. Like, apparently they legitimately have shown my stuff around to the people at the office. And they really enjoy me and my passion. Like, they're not just saying it. Which is really cool. And they've talked to me and they were like, listen, we know that there are people who are going to provide focus and attention that don't necessarily have all the numbers, but we want to work with the people who really care about what they're doing. Thank you, Win. Hi, Win. Or not creeped out, but worried, but worried, but only because they know me. Listen, I know me. I was a little worried for a moment. So here's the thing. For those of you who have seen me, now I'm gonna have to get the thing. For those of you who have seen me play, because I was literally the first person in the world who got to show off gameplay footage of Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch. I was constantly joking about, oh, this is a perfect example of how much they like me. They gave me one. For those of you who have seen me play, because I was the first person to show off Lost Eidolon's Veil of the Witch, there was a character I very much so fell in love with. Marco. And, here's his new updated design. I'm gonna get this closer, and then... Hold on. Come on, come on, come on. That's Marco right there. With the beard and everything. So, I was talking with Jin, and I was saying how, like, listen, is this game going to have voice acting? Because the voice acting was one of the strengths of the first Lost Eidolons. And I understand this one's a roguelike, but I think it would be great. And, like, you guys killed it with your voice acting selections last time. And also, I'm asking, because I'm going to be honest, I want to voice that guy. And I pointed to Marco. Straight up. I was like, I want to voice him. He's my favorite. I already have some of his lines memorized. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. So I pointed out how, like, my favorite is you do the tutorial. And while you're in the tutorial, you can, after you do the tutorial battle, you can ask some questions before you go off to the town that's like your main base of operations. And you can be like, there was a war. And he's like, no, we're not doing this. If you want a history lesson, go read a book. And then you get to the town and you can talk to the allies you already have and start learning about them. And so if you talk to Marco, one of your options is tell me about your past. And I was telling him my favorite line out of the whole thing I've played so far is he goes, you know how they say some people are like, you know how some people say, I'm like an open book. You can ask me anything. Yeah, I'm not. It's just such a beautiful, I love him. He is just the right, but you can tell there's more there, but he is just the right amount of asshole. I want to voice him. Dude looked me in my face and told me, he goes, like, he looked at me when I delivered the line. He was like, we'll be contacting you when we're doing voice acting stuff. He explained to me the reason that there hasn't been any voice acting as yet in the process is something I pointed out in my actual Lost Eidolons review video, which was very sad at the very end of it. One of the brilliant vocal performances was Robin by Billy Kometz. And he did great, but the issue is that they got the voice acting done relatively early with the idea of, oh, we can just go back for revisions if they need to. But Billy ended up getting sick and tragically passing from cancer during that process. So when they went back to do revisions, it was like, what do? They had to decide, do we do a recast? Do we get a voice alike? Do we just, like, not redo it? So they had to essentially work around and not redo his recorded lines because they felt wrong not going with him. And so they could only update his dialogue that would be like in non-voiced scenes, and it was a whole thing. So this time they do want to do voice acting, but they're going to wait until they are confident, like, this is going to be the full final script, so that they don't run into that again. So, and then after everything, you know, I spoke with my point of contact and said everything, and she straight up told me, she's like, no, we had a conversation. We're going to be reaching out to you when the steps for voice acting come up. So it's not guaranteed, obviously, but I might be in a fucking video game that I really like and am excited for at some point, and that's so cool. So we'll see. Longvay, I love how you just drop in and do that shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Also, how are you, my dude? I miss you. Oh, Dorian, you have no idea. When he said that to me, I walked away like, awesome, cool. And I just went like, was so excited. So I hope it works out. We'll see. I really would like it. Like it would be a credit. It would be so awesome to do it with a company I really believe in what they're doing, with a game that I genuinely am excited for and love and plan to play a lot. Like it's cool to get into voice acting. It's even cooler if I get into it with a project that I'm excited for personally. You know, like I got to put my touch on that. I got to be a part of that. The other game I got to try out while I was there, real quick before I move on, is called God Save Birmingham. And it's going to be like a Rust, Valheim sort of survival type game. You wake up as a farmer in 14th century England in Birmingham, and you just have to survive a zombie apocalypse, essentially. So you wake up, you can run around, you have health, or you have hunger to worry about, thirst, whatever. You can find, pitchfork as a weapon, clothes to put on. While you're running around, you can find armor to wear and whatnot. There's zombies everywhere. You got to take them out. You got to find food and supplies while you were doing things. So you can find like bread, but you can also find just like root vegetables and things like that to eat. You got to drink water. You can also find flasks to put water in, what have you. It was very simplistic in what I got to play. What I got to play was like the type of thing that you would find as like someone's that someone would sell on Steam for like $2.99 that you could play for a couple of hours and be like, all right, that's fine. What my thing I got to test, I did grain of salt the whole time because I'm like, I know that they're still early in things, and they did say we're very early in development. It's 5 months into the development cycle. For those of you who don't know what game dev is like, I'm shocked you have a fucking functional prototype 5 months into the dev cycle. It's like pre-alpha. So just the fact that they're already here, this far in, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. They're adding craft. Like, I brought up some of the things. I'm like, it would be awesome to see this. It would be awesome to see this. And they were like, no. All those features are absolutely coming. This is we're buckling down and trying to get the bones in, get people excited. Because here's the thing. They also can be, what language is it in? English. But like, I mean, there's going to be alternatives. So I thought you were going to have to ride down MLK. Yes. God Save Birmingham. And you are one of the guards of MLK. And, computer language. I don't know. I didn't ask. I should have maybe, but I didn't ask. But the game actually, for what was there, it was actually fun. I was enjoying myself the full 30 minutes. I looked down and I was like, oh shit. I'm actually 10 minutes past my time. So it could be good. But they're building that, like, based on the feedback, they're like, this could be our, like, boom. This could be the game that people are streaming together because they're going to add multiplayer. So you can go into, like, a seat of Birmingham with, 3 other friends, and all of you work together to survive and like craft out your base and, try and make it area to area because there's like a point you're trying to get to. So you could do it, team up as a friend. And I'm like, okay, this has the potential. This has the potential to be that big shot game. I would love if Lost Eidolons Veil of the Witch was that game because I loved Lost Eidolons. I would love Veil of the Witch to be that game, but it's strategy RPG. It's always going to be niche. Even if you're adding roguelike, which oddly brings in more people, it's going to be niche. But this is the type of game that could be like 300,000 CCV streamers get together and play. Peaky Blinders would have been better with zombies. A lot of things would be better with zombies. Also, I somehow got invited to an invite-only party for Larian Studios to celebrate the 1-year release of Baldur's Gate 3. And they had karaoke there. So I did You Remind Me by Usher. And I obviously brought the roof down. Duh. Not for nothing, but duh. And let me tell you, not only did she not arrest and cancel me, she hyped me the fuck up after the fact. Multiple people came up to me and they're like, you know, you were the best performer of the night, right? Because I'm the only one who, like, I worked the stage. Like, you and Derek get to do the thing with John. If you're talking about the Larian party, I did. Derek didn't. If you're talking about something else, I don't know. Caracal, here's the thing, though. There was a security guard, so it was like a 2-story bar. Like, you walk in up here, and then there was stairs into, like, a basement. Oh, the outfits! Yes, I sure did. I have pictures. I'll share after the fact. John didn't do it. It was just me and Derek. But there was a security guard who was at, like, the landing between the first and second floor, and she kept... After she saw me sing, she kept yelling songs at me she wanted me to do. She was like, you need to do Good Good. And I was like, I don't even know if they got it on the book. She was like, just do it anyways. I was like, I mean, I could do it right now. We ain't good, but we still good. So it was fun. It was a good time. It was an open bar, and I got annihilated. I drank a lot. I drank a lot. Okay. Let me catch up. So, when last we were here, we took out a Vidraal. It is like an hour into stream, and I ain't done shit. But the Yakoi must still be anxious, wondering where and when Valle Garmando will strike next. I suggest we hurry back and allay their fears. Alfie knows as well, I should think. Yes, you're right. We shouldn't let them worry about another moment. Okay. Asgab? All... Okay. Oh! Let me hype up another streamer real quick, because last night, was it last night? I think it was last night. I was sitting in on one of the funniest fucking streams I've ever been a part of. If you have a chance, follow Miss Jones. Caracal, if you would help me, would you be willing to type Jonesy's Twitch into chat? Thank you. She was playing a new game. I did not know this was a thing, but I'm now aware. The game is called Squirrel with a Gun. She's doing more? Oh, hell yeah. If she's live when I'm done, there's a non-zero chance we're raiding over there. That shit was... God. I want to get that game. It looks genuinely fun. Before we do anything else, we should talk to Gerfurler. Also, can I point out that 11 years, Yoshi P has not had to say
To the temple,
shit
then.
to the 14 community?
Won't be necessary. Heroes of the hour.
Hold on.
Valle Garmanda is no more. Yours is a victory worthy of song.
Okay. It's real black people too. I can't say that, but also. Y'all. What was I just saying? Oh, it is wild that it's been 11 years. And for the first time, Yoshi P had to step in and say, hey, can you leave our voice actor the fuck alone? And we all know why. I'm sure that there are people like, oh, there's some real wooden or off delivery. And it's like, yeah, because there's been no wooden or off delivery in any of the last 4 expansions. You're not shocking anyone, asshole.
We had plans for a second feat to be conducted here in town. But the recklessness of your fellow claimant has rendered them pointless.
That ain't my fault! I agree with fuck
second
that
feat?
guy.
The feat of ice. You are to fortify Valigarmanda's prison.
Okay, but... What if I just
Shall
fucking
we
killed it?
proceed, High Luminary?
Because, like...
What more would we test, Zurmurwer? They have defeated the Sky Ruin and saved the gods know how many lives. If they are not worthy heirs to Kulul Jaljar, then no one is.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Now that our last claimant has arrived, we can proceed with the formalities. For the skill and bravery the three of you have shown, I award you each a second keystone.
I think if I'm power ranking the 4 claimants in terms of how much I do or do not like them, I think it's fairly obvious
That's fine.
Vuklamat is 1,
Only 2 left to collect.
Kona is 2, Homeboy, the first promise is
Except
3,
that one of those 5 is in Bakul Jaja's thieving
and
hands.
Bakul Jaja can
He
suck
will
my
answer
dick.
for that. And for losing
Backwards.
Valigarmanda.
You have brought lasting tranquility to our home.
Y'all will never
and
convince
earned
me
the
to like him.
gratitude of every Yokui. May glory and prosperity.
Oh, I'm assuming you meant
continue to
Gerferler. He was
bless
the last one who spoke.
Tuliolol as we enter this new age.
Also, can I draw attention to a thing? You know what I
Was
think I
never
really
much of a
like?
talker, our brother.
You know what I think I really like about Kona? They have finally managed to make a character in a Japanese thing whose whole thing is like, oh, I love my sister so very, very much, without making it really the fuck creepy. Like, I know that it's a trope. It's also a terrible fucking trope that we really don't need. Like, you can just make them normal. You can make them like a normal person who... You can just make them a normal person who also happens to really love and appreciate their sister, to where it's like a notable characteristic of theirs that you could crack on. You can do that. You can. Know that I love you and I miss you because I was dodging all your Dawntrail since I haven't played it yet. Oh, Charm, please, no. I love you and I appreciate you. You don't have to be here. I get it. I'm not gonna do that to you.
If you're up for it, you should visit the capital. I'd like everyone to
I
get
was
to know
saved as a
you
kid
the
and
people
protected.
better.
I'm going to pay that back by doing... Nope, I like you way more. Too bad, sucker. Speaking of sucker, Charm, because I had to bring this up. There's actually... There is a running gag that several people who I know are imparting on me that I'm not beating the allegations. And by the allegations, I will simply put it as based on the way I dress, the way I carry myself, the music I do at karaoke, the things I reference, that I'm not beating the allegations. Charm and Caracal, I think you're picking up where I'm going with. And like, I swear, I'm not trying to. It's just who I am, y'all. I'm sorry. But one of the things that led to someone looking at me and going, "You're really not being the allegations," is I pointed out, have you heard the Old Head remix of Not Like Us? Oh, I'm gonna play it right now because it is truly magic. Not Like Us old. Here we go. Oh, I gotta pull. Oh, here we go. I gotta go to TikTok. Hold on. Hold on. Also, I fucking love this song. That bitch is a hoe. I love that fucking song. But, no, here it is.
Alcohol can walk yourself.
You ain't been through nothing. Have you ever had to leave the studio? Cause you should have got low. I got gout in my pinky toe. Hi, did you hear what I said? I took a pocket to pot. I got gout in my pinky toe.
I'm sorry. It gets me every time.
Hey, they not like us.
I did that to someone, and my boy Justin from the Rusty Rubies podcast just looks at me and goes, "You ain't beating the allegations." And I was like, alright.
I'll consider it if it's one of you two who claims the throne.
At one
Then
point,
you need only await a missive from Sunperch. I'll be sending out invitations.
at one point he goes,
You a rapper, young whippersnapper. You can't beat me. I got a bad bladder. Every 30 seconds, I gots to pee. Hey!
Today is a day for unusual visitors.
that's a big, big boy right there.
You woke Yamat, was it not? I doubted you could slay Valikarmanda, but the quiet skies proclaim your triumph.
This is really impressive, by the way. That is a hard voice to do.
Vidraal been suffered to roam free. It would have terrorized us all.
That's a hard voice to do.
We find ourselves
It would tear
in
up
debt.
my throat.
You owe us nothing. We fought because we wanted to.
Yet a debt has been incurred. All the same, it will haunt me if I do not repay it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even know what to ask for.
Perhaps he can tell us about the dreams of the Golden City.
Oh, good idea. That was on my list of questions I wanted to ask.
The golden dreams.
So, Dorian, I do know how to growl, but still, if you're doing it for an extended amount, like the voice actor here would have had to do for all the various lines, that shit's gonna... It's gonna grind on you.
What did your forebears see?
Plus, you gotta keep in mind, there was likely the nature of how they wanted a certain pitch and pacing and delivery. I find it very unlikely they walked in and got those takes first go out the gate.
Never aging, never dying, free from hardship and conflict. Every building was a palace, and in their midst reigned a silent goddess, a statue so tall even my kin would need lift their gaze to behold its visage.
A statue of a goddess.
Right. There's layers to it. The same techniques they use for Mongolian throat singing can apply here, but it still can absolutely get you. And you gotta remember, for the people who do Mongolian throat singing, like, as a thing,
compelled to seek
by and large, they've been doing it for so long that they've learned how to truly wrap their voice around it and work it, and where their limits are in pushing, and so on and so forth. There's still some level of, this is going too far, but it's like training a muscle. Whereas this is unlikely to be the voice this VA does all the time, you know?
Have been rooted in historical fact.
Perhaps. Who can know the truth of it? Once our ancestors left the forest, there were no more dreams, no dreamers.
The forest? What do you mean?
From the very first, the visions were set to visit only those who worked the quarries in Yaktel. But after they were ravaged by disease,
Soken is so good, man.
Saw fewer newborns, they were forced to abandon that territory.
The way he uses leitmotif is just gorgeous.
Once our people's withdrawal to Urkopacha was complete, we never again dreamed of the
because he can do both angles of it, right? He proved with 16 that he can take
only Yokwi in that one
tracks you
specific
know,
area experienced the visions.
like how he uses the Final Fantasy theme and prelude, and like turned it on its head in different ways and things like that.
Maybe we'll find out more when we get there.
And then in this case, it's like he can create a sound that he knows he can use in multiple different ways. That
require gratitude. I merely
is very simple, but he can do so many things with it.
Farewell, Wook Lamat. I do not think our paths will cross again.
Because they're not willing to pay me for a second VA session.
And what he did, he put his fucking foot into Endwalker. I don't think Vorpolor and his brethren will have a sudden change of heart about Tuliolal. But that doesn't mean they'll never change at all. Today's proof of that. I think it's time we return to Tuliolal. After scaling Tural's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast to the death, even dauntless heroes like you could probably use rest. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid out in the saga. The respite would be most welcome. I believe I hear the 4-horned cabins calling our names. All right. Bye-bye. All right, before anything else, though, let me... Yep, thought so. I heard tale of your victory. You protect our land. For that, I express my deepest gratitude. I wish only I could have seen the battle with my own eyes. As a warrior of Yakoi, I cannot fathom how one of your diminutive stature laid low the fears. I do ask if you measure your martial powers. Of course. Of course, I'll go pay. This is just bog standard ether stuff. So, like, I'm just trying to get it done with real quick so I can be able to fly around here. Love that the guys who went out Conqueror with the metal helmets are the ones that get sick and died this time. Fair. Oh, also, while I was at PAX, I did get to check out... Oh, wait, hold on. Pray to the saltwater jar. I did get to check out and try. So my friend Scott, Scott White, also known as Professor RPG, got an early copy of the Mass Effect board game, and I got to try it out. So a couple of notes. One, that game is fun as hell. The way it works is you form a team of 4. One player, up to 4, I should say. What up, Shan? You form a team of, I believe, up to 4. I think you can play with less than 4. It just won't be optimal. But but it's up to 4. I know. I'm going to say you could, like, hard mode it. Isn't that more of a board game? It is a board game. It is literally just a board game. But it's very, very good. One player has to play Shepard, and very cool. So if Shepard dies, the mission fails. So everyone has like a sheet with the stuff for their character and a mini, but there's a backside to the sheet for if you get knocked out, and you can get revived by teammates, but there's a backside to the sheet for if you get knocked out. And for all the other characters. For Shepard, instead, since that would be kind of pointless, the front side is the one side is male Shep, the other side is femme Shep. Knowing you, suffice it to say, may the light of ghosts never forgot. Nice, cool, gimme. And there's also a regular Shep mini and a femme Shep mini, which is cool. And then the companions are Garrus, Rex, Liara, and Tolly, I believe. I'm not sure if... I don't believe Ashley or Kaiden were options. Now, it didn't matter for me, because there was only ever one character I was going to pick, and that is the best boy. Shepard. This one, I made the mistake of picking a fight. There was another unlike its comrade. They had the good sense of flee, not far. It stalks us from the shadows. Okay, yeah, I gotta go kill a thing. Okay, cool. So I played Rex. Sephi played with me, as well as my friend Britt from the SDGC podcast. Sephi was Liara, and Britt was Garrus. Oh shit, where's... Where's Melee Duel? Here we go. We lost the mission. Now, if we are speaking purely in, like, objective terms, part of why we lost the mission may theoretically be the fact that at the end of your turn, so you get, every turn you get a hazard or danger card, and you have to flip it and do whatever it says, like, immediately. And at the end of my turn, I may have flipped a card that says every turret, you know, shoots an ally within line of sight, and then also grab another card and flip it, and may or may not have, in the process, ended up grabbing 5 consecutive cards that are grab another card and immediately activate it, 3 of which were turrets activating and shooting, and basically ended up setting Sephi up to die, which then started the train of issues. Maybe. But, you know, it happens. I would, of course, it being Sephi of all people really did not help my case. Let me tell you. Let me fucking tell you. But the game is very fun. It's very enjoyable. There's like an experience system for leveling up and learning new things. There's a lot to it. It's the type of game where I would not be shocked if, because like to truly play a campaign, you play multiple missions and each mission takes some time. But there's like, you do this mission, so now there's branching, there's a loyalty mission, then there's branching paths to the next mission, and you keep going. I would not be shocked that this is the type of game that if, like, that people just do not go from beginning to end of a campaign in a single day. Like, you play a mission, maybe 2, and then you come back for whatever the third one is at another time. This has been an enlightening experience for me. Not often am I granted a chance to witness a warrior whose skill far surpasses my own. For years I served as guardian of Eorzea the Gracious, watching over the seal placed upon Valley Garmanda. Oh, okay, this one has story, so I have to do this. I would have aided in the feat of ice, too, had the Sky Ruin not rendered our plans meaningless. You see, it is the duty of the Temple Guardians to drive off the dangerous creatures drawn to Valley Garmanda's energies. At times, it was all we could do to shield the frozen Vidraal from swarms upon swarms of beasts. But now that Valley Garmanda has been laid low, we Guardians have nothing left to guard. Of course, this is cause for celebration. Urkopacha, nay, all of Tural, no longer fear the Sky Ruin's blight. And yet, a part of me felt otherwise. Deprived of purpose, I relinquished my... what? Position. Because we killed Valley Garmanda? Oh, I did not mean to suggest I blame you for my woes. Were it not for you, I would surely not be standing here to bemoan my plight. At any rate, I thought seeing you in action might move me to seek my next passion, or at the very least, provide inspiration for a new combat technique. But given your graceful air, I remained skeptical until I observed your power firsthand. I'd also be remiss not to praise your economy of movement, always thinking ahead, looking for the shortest route to victory. What calling has led you to develop such commendable skills? Well, they released a new expansion and it let me hold 2 swords, so I was like, fuck yeah. Ah, so you're an adventurer. Does that mean your life's purpose is the pursuit of adventure? How intriguing. Alas, much as I would love to hear your many tales, I will not keep you. When next you have a moment, however, it would be my honor to speak with you at length. Okay, cool. And now I can fly here. So before I head back to Tuliolal, let me... Okay. Over here living there. Wow, your mom let you have 2 hot dogs meme, but with swords. Exactly. That's literally how I feel. I'm gonna go just that, and then I'll head back to Tural. Why you so good at whipping bitches? Well, I have some history, y'all, is the thing there. How much time do you have? Y'all thought I was gonna hit the mount, didn't you? Ha! Now what? Oh, am I already? I'm good? Cool. What's down here? Anything I give a shit about? I'm sure something will be. Or it's just here specifically to stop you from being able to map the realm. But it's fine! Whatever. Back to Tural. What level are you now? I am 94. I am level 94. Just did, we are post Valigarmanda. Alright. What is next with the story? With the story. Hey, with the story. With the story. With the story. Rest well, everyone. We can meet back here later on. I have a small errand to run in the city, so I'll leave you to recover. Will you be heading back to the palace, Wuklamat? Wuklamat? Did you hear me? Lost in her own little world, it seems. Well, no matter. I'll be back soon enough. Did you hear they'll had to come out and tell people to fuck up? Oh, I already was talking about that during the stream, Shan. An attendant is standing by to unlock your cabin. Enjoy your stay. It's been 11 years. 11 fucking years of FF14. Yoshi ain't never had to come out and tell y'all to knock it the fuck off. Like, do you not feel embarrassed when something like that happens? We're 11 years in and he's never had to address the community in that way. And now he has to because y'all are so built up on this stupid fucking crusade. Like, do you really not feel embarrassed at that? Because you should. No, I'm talking about stopping has had to, but not about, yes, but that's different, Caracol. That's stop cheating. Like, please stop using cheat devices mechanically. It's never been something about, like, how the community, how a large contingent of the community was treating the people who make this game, the voice actors and things like that. It's not like there's been a mass hate campaign against devs or something like that. He's never had to address that. It's been like, hey, please stop doing this shit. But about mechanical things or whatnot, he's never had to do that. Ever. It's never even been, please leave. Like, we understand the voices aren't perfect, but please stop harassing them for wooden delivery or whatever. He's never. Like, y'all aren't embarrassed. Really? Y'all aren't embarrassed by your actions? Y'all aren't embarrassed by the fact that the guy who is the head of this whole thing had to come and go, hey, can you leave our wonderful voice actress alone because she did amazing and she's here and we don't understand what the heck all the hate is for? And no matter what you say, that it's not about, oh, her delivery was awful, her delivery was this, because there are so many lines I could point to throughout the history of this game that are just as bad. And y'all were not fucking like this. We know why you're doing it. No one's confused. No one is shocked. No one doesn't understand what's up. Welcome back, Master Bonanza. Your cabin is just as you left it, minus a light layer of dust. Like, it's fucking sad, man. It's sad. It is flatly and entirely sad. And honestly pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic.
You have a moment?
It's like the hate with remake for Ada Wong, including Check's notes, making the historically Asian character voiced by an Asian woman was woke propaganda.
There's something I wanted to talk to you about.
What's her name? Hold on. Wendy Lee can suck my dick. I will. I'm sorry. That's how I'm gonna feel forever. Sorry. Okay. Because they really tried. They really genuinely tried to do something with Bleach 1000-Year Blood War by bringing in Aniris Quinones as Yoruichi. And you don't have any excuse. Because Jameson Price came out and said, yeah, I'm not going to voice Chad anymore because we need to be better as an industry. I will not lack for roles. I will not lack for opportunities. I'm going to give this one to someone else who should have been voicing it from the beginning, if we can be honest. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my favorite. All the people are like, Concord failed because it's so woke. You have no idea how anything works, and you're a dumbass. You are a dumbass. Look, if any human being who looks me in the eyes, who can stop and truthfully and honestly look me into the windows of my soul and say, Concord failed because of woke, is a dumbass. You do not know the first thing of what you're fucking talking about. You genuinely do not understand how anything works, and you have the mind of a child. You have the same equivalent mind as someone who argues on the playground about how anyone who has a Sega Genesis is stupid because they don't have Final Fantasy on their console. And this idea that unless you have my exact frame of thought, everything else is that you genuinely have to fucking construct a world, and it's childish. Concord failed because in a world that is replete with hero shooters, in a genre that is by and large free to play, they were console exclusive to the PlayStation 5 while charging money for their game without a preloaded IP or player base. It was a string of terrible decisions on a business level. Had this been a free-to-play game, we would not be in the same boat. It is literally that simple and that thing. When you're going up against Overwatch, when you're going up against the inevitable strategies of Marvel Rivals, when you're going up against all these games, if you are not making a free-to-play game, the only even remote chance you have is you have to have a powerful and established IP. If Marvel Rivals and Concord flipped, and Marvel Rivals was charging money, but at least had the built-in advantage of, this is a Marvel game and you get to play Marvel characters, there would be some traction. It would be an awful decision to a lot of people, but there would be some success and traction. But there are a series of business decisions that went into this that mean it was forestalled. It could have been the most right-wing conservative game ever made, and we would end up in exactly this position. Also, it's a goddamn hero shooter. How the fuck much woke do you think they can put into it? Really, I'm waiting. Because guess what? It was not like there was a character named Lesbiana. Like, a lot of the characters weren't white, and that's because the fact that they were fucking blue and green. Or a robot. I do wish there was a character named Lesbiana, Charm. I'm not gonna lie. I do wish there was a character named Lesbiana. But again, like, if that is the bottom line. If you look at me and you're like, this game failed because woke, you are looking at me and telling me, like, you are a child. And you have zero understanding of how the world works, how game development works, how business works, or anything like that. Concord was an unmitigated disaster, but it has precisely fucking nothing to do with which side of the political spectrum any of the people involved landed on. Nothing. And you are truly a fool. And if you honestly believe that, it tells me that you have no ability to think for yourself. You have no ability to think for yourself. None. People are saying it died because of woke. I should probably try it. Yeah. That's not why. That's not why. It's because you came out with a $40 hero shooter in the year of our Lord 2024 with no inbuilt IP to ride on. And you locked it to one console. And what's the PS5 install base? I'm fucking curious. PS5 sales. Console sales. Which not everyone has one according to the console sales numbers, because you do have to keep in mind that several of these are owned by people who have multiple units. Several of these were bought by scalpers who never ended up moving them, so on and so forth. So the number is not what it actually says. Let me see something so I can properly... Okay, here we go. Okay. Crashing 14. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Shan. So, according to the most generous possible thing I'm finding, because I wanted to go the most generous to illustrate my point, the PS5's official sales are at 61.7 million units sold. Let us pretend that there was a PS5 individually in 61.7 million different homes. There's not. There are some in the shelves in stores. There are some in warehouses that are being sold off, or in storage units that are being sold off by scalpers. There are people who have 2, who have 3, who have 4. So a more accurate number is far lower. But for the purpose of math, let's go with a nice round 55 million. That feels like a good one. 55 million possible households that you can reach. The Switch has almost 3 times that. So when a Switch exclusive game launches, they can say if our console exclusive player base buys it at the same percentage as they would buy on any other console, we're looking at almost 3 times the sales. A game that would be considered a flop on another console because it only sold, say, 6 million units, selling at the same percentage on Switch would sell something to the tune of 15 to 16 million units. That is an all-time sales mark for so many games. When you console lock your game to anything but the Switch, you are fighting an uphill fucking battle, and you generally need to have a lot of marketing and or an IP to support it or something along those lines. They didn't do that with Concord. A bunch of people didn't know the game was out. Most people didn't know the game was out. Most people had no fucking clue. You didn't have an established IP, you had shit marketing, and you didn't properly build it up. On top of that, you stuck it in a genre with tons of free-to-play options and established world beaters in best-in-class opponents that are on multiple platforms, put it on one console, and you charged money for it. Without a proper playtest period for people to get in, or demo, or anything of that sort. What did you think was going to happen? I don't know shit about games dev or marketing, and I knew it was going to fail. Because I have a brain. Because I can look at all these details and say, oh, you are setting yourself up for a goddamn disaster. The entirety of Concord's marketing, Dorian, for me, was the last Sony State of Play that they did. When they had, like, that whole extended period at the beginning where they had the trailer video that a lot of people were joking was very Guardians of the Galaxy, but, like, the great value version. That was the last time I had heard any real true marketing for Concord. I hadn't heard shit about it since, and then all of a sudden I turned around and I'm like, oh, the game is out. Like, that's the kind of game you need to put money into your marketing. You don't need to put money into marketing the same on Final Fantasy XVI. I promise you, people know a new Final Fantasy is coming out. You don't need to put marketing money into Spider-Man. People know a new Spider-Man is coming out. Like, you need to put some, obviously, but those games are going to be successful no matter what you do. There is a certain baseline success they're going to hit because they have an IP you can ride on. This didn't. So now you're telling people, oh, we know you play Overwatch. Play almost Overwatch, but what if it kind of had Guardians of the Galaxy characters? Except it doesn't have Guardians of the Galaxy characters, chiefly because very soon a new shooter that does have actual Guardians of the Galaxy characters is coming out. And by the way, they've been playtesting and getting streamers to show this game off to build hype. God! Like, this is just purely a failure of marketing and execution. It just is. So when you look at me and you're like, it failed because of woke, I'm like, damn, you're really just the stupidest motherfucker, aren't you? It's a huge trailer with so many parts of the marketing, finance, competition. I remember seeing the trailer of it at one of the events in Summit, and it looked like an RPG, too. Like, it didn't even look like what it was. Correct! That trailer looked like it could have been, honestly, just based off the CGI trailer they showed before they showed gameplay, I thought it was going to be something like the Guardians of the Galaxy's game that they dropped on consoles that was actually really good. The sort of, like, action RPG-ish game that was, like, surprisingly good. I thought it was going to be something like that. I was like, okay, you got my attention. Then I saw it was a hero shooter, and I was like, what? What? That does... What? I was genuinely thrown off. Okay, let's do this.
So,
You good? Does she have a crush?
It's just too stuffy in here, that's what.
Okay.
We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
Okay. Whatever you say, girl. At the very least, she's adorable. She's a disaster, but she's adorable. Sorry to drag you away from your nice, comfortable cabin, but I could feel the walls closing in. Oh, I know! I'll take you to one of my favorite places in Tural. That should help me get my thoughts in order. We'll go to the Resplendent Quarter and make our way up from there. Okay, where the hell is that? What the fuck? Where are you? Oh, I see. Her being a disaster is part of her charm. 1000%, Frankie. 1000%. We love her because she's a disaster, not in spite of her being a disaster. Peshiwa, what are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better?
It's much healed now, so don't make a fuss. Besides, I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out there fighting your hardest to win the throne. You're the claimant with the greatest love for peace. I love this nation of ours, and lending you my support is the least I can do. When I see you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? Oh ho ho, there's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can recruit a whole battalion of smiling faces if you think it'll help. Yours alone is more than enough. Thank you, Peshiwa. Thank you, Third Promise. I shall pray for your success in the contest. All those smiling faces. Ah, sorry, Anoriand. I'm getting distracted. It's just that with the progress we've made in the contest, even these everyday encounters feel that much more special. Do you think we can take our time and maybe wander around a little first? Then we can head to that spot I was thinking of.
This is much better.
Okay.
I used to come here all the time when I was little. I'd look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small.
I want her axe, by the way. It looks so cool.
Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor? That I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural? Well, I've been thinking a lot since then. About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far. I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others. Life has its ups and
It
downs.
will most likely be available at one point.
but the
Oh, I
company of
presume.
family and friends, and the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living. And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace.
At 14 online, store a new item. Claimant's Garb and Peacemaker. Ooh. 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 Charm. You should be hired by a marketing team. You wish for a world like in the Yakoi's dream.
With eternal life and no struggle or conflict, it's certainly an ideal worth striving for.
Call up Yoshi
Who
P.
knows if we could make such a world a reality. But renouncing war
I'll
and
hit up my
conquest seems
people
like
at
a
Square.
good
Be
place
like,
to
I got
start.
your new marketing specialist. Trust me, she's going to change the game for y'all.
So, this is my plan. When I become Dawn Servant, I'll build on Papa's peace. Our people will live together in happiness. It's just like Kryl said.
I'd be making a Yoshi plushie minion by the end of the year,
Taking the
as
time
you should.
to hear their concerns, understand their
You don't have to
feelings,
sell me, Charm.
and
I'm
consider
already
how best to serve.
on
With
board.
each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be. It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence. I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies. If it wasn't for you all listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time. There are 2 keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me?
Of course.
Thank the gods for that.
I don't understand.
I have nothing else to
the-
get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the cabins.
I don't understand the people who are like, Wook didn't click with me. How? Because there are people who I genuinely know who are like, who are not bigots, who openly champion trans rights and things like that. Are like, I don't know, Wook just didn't click with me right, and I'm literally just confused. Like, literally how? I honestly don't even buy the argument for people who are bigots. If I can be honest, it feels like it should have the energy of one of my, of one picture I saw before, where, this girl posted a selfie picture of herself, and she is just absolutely gorgeous, and the very top comment on it is, and she's black, and the very top comment is, I'm racist, but damn you gorgeous. And, It should be that. Like, I feel like even bigots should be like, I don't even like trans people, but like, Wook Lamont, fuck, I love her. Like, how can you not like her? Because they wanted another over-the-top badass mofo and someone who wasn't so normal. Please tell me who the over-the-top badass mofo is. That's my problem. Estinian? Because Estinian was like... If Estinian is your platonic ideal of what an expansion character should be, you've probably, like... I guess maybe you could say Hien? To a limited degree? Hien and Gosetsu. Ardbert's a badass, but he is a sad boy. He is a sad, sad fucking boy. You don't connect with him because he's cool. You connect with him because he's heartbreaking. You look to be in good spirits. I assume your leisure time was well spent. I was glad to snatch some quality sleep myself. After all, it will soon be back to the road for us. I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone is rested well. I meant when they do introduce someone, they usually have gotten real high in whatever progress in their personal situation. Example, kings, princes, general fighting badasses, master sorcerers, etc. In terms of our companions and the Asians. That's fair. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Zoral, Jah, and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wook Lamont would be equal with them, but for Bakul Jar Jar's thievery, which has left us 1 short. That conniving braggart didn't lift so much as a finger for the feat of proof, and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I'll be taking back what is mine. This I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakul Jar Jar's unleashing of Valigarmanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamul Jah and Vidraal in the forests of Yaktel, specifically near a village called Ikbrax. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Kettenram befriended a 2-headed king known as the Autarch before commencing his travels across Tural. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least, that is the commonly held belief. Your 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Kettenram fellow must have come to Tuliolal. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yakoi architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch, did you? You said Autarch, didn't you? Then Kettenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk? Is that a city? One of the grandest in Tural. Once upon a time in the seat of the Mamul Jah's homeland. It too lies in Yaktel, not far from Ikbrax. Then all things considered, Yaktel seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safe method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. We're riding in one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Oh, poor girl. Wook has worries and concerns and isn't brilliant at what she does, so they don't see her as on the same level. They see worries as whining. Her lack of brilliance is unintelligence instead of places for her to grow. And, you know, she's a femme-presenting character. She's automatically judged harder no matter what. Womp womp. Womp womp. Yeah, here's my thing. Really, I'm fully willing to say it is the fact that she is femme, and it's the fact that she's voiced by a trans woman. Like, I know so many people who say all the time, like, the worst prior to when this came out, or like, the worst expansion was Stormblood. And like, oh, the one where your main team, your main expansion character is a woman, and where the whole story revolves around saving the brown people and giving them liberty. I was born during the day, but it wasn't yesterday. Okay. Now, you can criticize the fact that it's a white woman who's saving all the brown people. I will accept that. Like, Lise really should have been brown. She should have been. That is just a flat statement. I don't even feel that there's any argument about that worth having. But the next flight to Yoctel will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside their dirigible at all times. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air all the way to Yoctel? I mean, I didn't like Lise herself, but I liked everything else in Stormblood. And I absolutely was going to say Lise should have been more... Yeah! My main issue with Stormblood is... Why is it a white woman? Are you ready? Bags packed and goodbye said? There's no going back once we lift off. I mean, my problem with Stormblood was them bringing back Xenos, then try to make my Assaulter bound to me. Xenos, the fight's sexual. Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Technically, if you're talking about bringing back Xenos, wouldn't that be Shadowbringers? Right? Or, hold on. No! Well, he comes back at the end of Stormblood. I mean, they hint at it, but isn't it like yeah, I guess he does come back at the end of Stormblood, but the first time it's like, oh, Xenos is back, doesn't really happen until Shadowbringers, I thought, or actually, technically, Endwalker, but like the whole shit while you're gone of him coming and being like, him being in the soldier body and all that shit, that happens in Shadowbringers, I thought. Fuck. Oh, my bad. Frankly, Monago and Fordola were so much more engaging as far as the percent. 100% charm. 100%. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Just until I've settled my nerves? Of course. I need more Monago and Fordola content for the rest of my life. They both are great. You're the nicest person I've ever met, Anoriand. I'll try not to crush your hand. There she is! Third promise! Wait just a moment! Mablu and Tobli! Of course, I'll wait as long as you need. Hold on one second. Automod message! Let me see here. Hold on. Let me do this. I don't see any Automon message. It's just not showing on my end. Like, I see where you said, oh, wow, I actually need a mod check, but it's not showing the message for me to check even in mod view. That's weird. Try it again, and I'll see if it comes through here properly. Okay, here we go. It came through on my end. Nah, you ever see that old Deezus and Mero clip? Most likely. Of them roasting racist who was interviewed by an Afro-Latina journalist from Univision, and they having the nerve to say that they were superior to her while looking like textbook white trash, and she looks like an employee of Univision? I have. I absolutely have. And they got the business, and they fucking deserved the business. You know what's wild? Is that the specific thing that AutoMod picked up there is white trash as to whether or not I had to allow it. And AutoMod clearly does not know who I am if it thinks I'm not going to allow people to say the phrase white trash. Like... Like, I'm sorry, but that's always going to be allowed to say in here. Let me go ahead and pull this up.
Uh-oh, Colombia!
I'm just gonna play it because it's an all-timer. It really is an all-timer.
Que rico. Colombian Univision reporter Ilia Calderon interviews a KKK leader in North Carolina on his property. This sounds like the worst idea ever.
Yeah, right. People were saying that we shouldn't like show Nazis talking.
Yeah.
No, like let them talk.
Let them talk.
Yeah. Christopher Barker was told the interview would be conducted by a Hispanic woman of color. He expected someone like the rest of the predominantly Hispanic, lighter-skinned news crew. Oh, he's on that color shit.
Oh, you shaded?
He's one of Mero's people.
Don't shade me. She's showing tremendous restraint right there.
I would have had the 50.
She got the. She's in the position of like that my mom's gets in when she's about to smack me.
Correct.
So she can just lunge out and just be like, pow, nigga, from 20 feet across the room.
Look at the disappointment on her face.
Yeah, she's like,
These are the grades you bring home?
Sí, dime. C or D.
I love.
That's what D stand for.
When you look
I
at
love Jesus Nice so fucking much.
I'm upset.
Watch, she's gonna say mongrel.
I seen you. I mean, I see you every day, all your time.
Here we go.
I've been here over 20 years, and we've never had a black person, or whatever you want to call yourself. You're mongrel to me.
I am a black person.
I be on the racist sites. I know what they say. Also, if you haven't seen a black person in 20 years, what are you so mad at?
Yo!
He's not caught up on Insecure. He's like, I don't want no spoilers. Like, yo, relax. I'm Team Lawrence.
Or whatever you want to call yourself. You're mongrel to me.
I am a black person.
Yeah,
and I
same thing. Yeah.
Yes, Hispanic immigrant.
Whatever. But we've never had one. We don't let them around.
How did you define yourself?
We define ourselves as.
I don't hate anyone.
Yeah, I don't hate anyone. We tell the Bible what the Bible says.
The Bible says that we were all born equal.
Leviticus 19:18 is what you're saying. Love thy neighbor. It says, love thy neighbor of thy people. My people are white. Your people are black. I'm what I am. You're what you are.
Are you racist?
No.
Yo, come on, dog.
Are you racist? No. Ignore the cross burning going on behind me on my property?
No, we're not racist. We just hate niggers. That's all. I mean, if that makes me
I'm not racist. Can I show you my robe room?
Like, come on. That's all. You know.
There's not a black person gonna sit at my table and eat with me.
What about an immigrant?
It don't matter. 2 Peter says you're not allowed to break bread with them.
So you only eat with white people?
No, it doesn't.
How do you know that you are 99% white or 100%
I know
white?
I'm 99.79.
It's not the skin color. It's on your DNA.
Look at
Do you know how your DNA?
Look at your eyes and look at mine.
What
I'm
happened?
way more superior than you'll ever be.
Oh, he told her.
What?
Limited.
Yo!
He was like, I'm way more superior than you'll ever be.
She's like, actually, I have a penthouse in Miami. Suck my dick from the back. You live in a forest, you idiot. I came here in a helicopter. Stupido.
I love Jesus so goddamn much. I'm way more superior than you'll ever be. At what? At fucking what? Curling? Fucking bocce ball? What are you superior at, sir? In what way are you superior? That man looks like the manifestation of an evil spirit you see at the end of a horror movie. That man looks like he's like 2 seconds away from turning into the smile entity. That man looks like the physical personification of deliverance. That man looks like if you just like took like a real human and like you did a reverse Pinocchio and like you try to bring him back into being a puppet and shit broke halfway through and he was still alive. That man looks like he's made out of milk and cheese left out in the sun. He looks like a goddamn, like one of the bloaters from Last of Us. But like if you shaved off some of the excess and put a beard on it. And not a good beard. That man looks like he's like personally auditioning to play Crumb in a real life production of Ah Real Monsters. That man looks like a stunt double for the Penguin. And they hired him specifically because they don't need makeup after Colin Farrell is done with his takes. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Tural as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. A foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yorkdale, to where it seems you are already bound. What luck! Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or yet another discovery to look forward to? Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rite. Thanks. I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers to Yorkdale. I'm not over this. That man looks like Vince D'Onofrio, but very specifically Vince D'Onofrio in Men in Black, when they made Vince D'Onofrio look like he was wearing a skin suit of Vince D'Onofrio. Yorkdale will test her mettle, not without a doubt. To the next on-servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be. Sugar water.
The fierce Chapral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Unlike that man.
Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named.
You remember the scary nightmare baby from Rugrats? That man looks like a grown-up version of that evil scary nightmare baby.
It is here, where the Chapral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
I really can't fucking get over that. Like, you had the audacity to look at her and say, I'm superior. Buddy, it feels insulting just to call you inferior. Like, that's not a good enough word for the gap.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Cosmauca.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion.
That man looks like a character from, like, regular show.
Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble.
Like, you could just superimpose him in the show and ain't shit would change
So
about his design.
don't take a
And he
tumble.
fits right in.
It was one time.
Is the Shabral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
That man looks like the physical embodiment of the foghorn sound they make in cartoons to denote that something smells like ass. Like, he just looks like if you took the sound and made it into a real boy. With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. I understand I'm already veering off course, but in my defense, there's shit to find. Leave me alone. It's over here somewhere. Hey! Dun, dun, dun. Okay, but why does Erenville roast Wuklamot the way Sephi roasts you? I don't have a good answer for that. Especially because it gets into the funny territory of, like, this is the power dynamic if I was the trans woman. But the problem is Wuklamot is likable. So, you know. Although everybody does... There is an unreal amount of thirst for Erenville, and... It's called friendship, sweetie. Look it up. Doing great, sweetie. Wait. Oh, there it is. Alright, I'm not gonna do all of the points. It was just like, oh, this is here, so... Oh, that is a plant. Scoobity-boobity-boo. Scoobity... I'm going far enough that it leaves me alone. Scooby-doo-doo-be-doo-doo. Be-flooby-doo. Good. Everyone's accounted for. Eek Brax is up ahead. Let's be on our way. Be nice, Josh. Erenville is the first 100% black as the night sky man they've ever seen. That was a little bit too true. Erenville was not exaggerating about the sea notes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Is this an upgrade for me? It is just barely, so sure. I think it's just barely. We'll see. It is! Let's take a look at these. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, we got these curved-ass, Monster Hunter-ass swords. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I'm with it. Hell yeah! Kite Man! Ready to head on in? It was one time! Is that... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's real. Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. The third promise and her retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Everyone is here. It's like Smash Bros. Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him. I'll tell y'all. I cannot afford it because PAX, there was a series of things, but long and short of it, there were a couple hundred extra dollars of costs that I could not have foreseen that happened across these past couple weeks. And so I need to be very smart with my money.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
Fuck this guy. But man, do I want to play Astrobot. Astrobot looks so goddamn good. But here's my problem. Other than, like, you know, I can't get it. I saw a guy today do maybe the most normal thing I've ever seen, which is Astrobot has been getting reviewed like an MF for how good it is. And a guy literally went on a whole long thing. Like, breaking down all this stuff, and it's like, if you review some of these scores because it deviates too much to have so many 10 out of 10s and da-da-da-da, the actual Metacritic review is... And then people would bring up, it's like, but that's what they scored. He's like, okay, so you're saying you're okay with this, what was it? With Stellar Blade getting an 81? Yeah. And like doing a whole thing about how mathematically he's peered through the other side. He gets it. And like, this is all a thing. And it's like, man, I've never seen anything more normal than using advanced mathematics to create pie charts and bar graphs and formulas to try and prove how no, Astrobot can't be the best game because reasons. You know that maybe it's just a really good platformer? Like, I don't know. It's an idea.
I've known we'd be waiting on your
Probably about to do math to say Concord was perfect, actually. Maybe not everything has to be that deep. Maybe people just really like the game with the little cute robot doing platforming.
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. Asibras Rash, I have the honor of serving as elector on behalf of my people. As all 4 claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise. If you would please join us.
I know multiple people I trust who are like, I beat the whole game. I'm playing it again. It's that fucking good. It is my game of the year. And these are people who prior to this were like, I think FF7 Rebirth is game of the year. Like, they have opinions that I believe and agree with. I'm like, okay, totally valid. I get it. And they're saying like, no, this is the greatest game released this year. I was shocked at how truly amazing it was.
The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
If we're teamed with Bakul Jaja, I'm quitting the goddamn expansion.
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
I already see how this is gonna go. I don't want to do it. Charm, it's been brought to my attention, and I'm not okay with it.
12 forbid Wuklamat is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her
You
if she did
cannot,
something
like, no.
rash.
Fuck him.
I might even help.
And there are people like, no, don't worry, he grows on you. I'm sorry, he has done too much. He's done too much, and he's too much of a dick.
Please present your colors.
Because technically speaking, Emmett Selk did way more.
I have read. Blue. On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Okay, Wuklamat's gonna get blue. They're not gonna put her with Kona. Oh!
Red. Which means...
Oh, thank God!
Together again. As fate would have it.
I'm good with that.
Victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their
Shan,
opposition.
here's my thing. Emmett Selk, okay? Emmett Selk did grow on you. The reason why he was able to grow on you, and even then, it's still like, but he's a villain. The reason why he's able to grow on you is because even as a villain, he's just such a piece of shit. But he was like, oh, you wily little piece of shit. Like, he had lines and he had moments where you're just like, I don't want to like you, but that was good. Okay? He's just such a prissy extra bitch. So there's a part of you that is, like, you're pissed off by him, but there's a part of you that likes you. Because he's sassy and he's extra. This dude is just an asshole. He's just a dick. So it's like, I'm sorry, there's no redeeming personality characteristic that I can clasp onto to say, if he changes his ways, I'm cool with him. Like, here's an example. Xenos is a really interesting, compelling character because he is such a fight sexual. Because he is so driven by his shit. And he literally fucking saves us and technically saves all of humanity. And I still don't like him. I like him as a villain, but I don't like him. I actually like Emmett Selk now. I wouldn't want to go get lunch with him, but like, he grows on you. I don't have the fucking weirdness of this dude. He's just an a-hole. That's why I'm saying no spoilers right now. You're absolutely right. I got you. Not the one head. What answer was gonna make you happy, dickface? Especially because he's the one you should want to partner with. He whooped your ass. He's the one you should respect.
The trial that awaits you is as follows.
Literally the one.
Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shebruk Bibil.
Okay. All right.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
There is deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
First of all, cooking requires immense cooperation and is very stressful.
Our promises have grown rather promising.
But second of all,
you say?
literally you're talking about being leadership. Metaphorically, it is your job to make sure that your people are fed.
Few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its
And
culinary
also
traditions.
that your food is born of your culture.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
Ingredient! The shark fin!
The peoples we've met on our journey,
Iron Chef!
They've all had different practices involving food
I
and
fucking
drink.
love Iron Chef, man.
The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living.
I'll tell you what, there is...
So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something
one
of
of
the
the
race.
few restaurants that I do truly believe I would spend an exorbitant amount of money in if I had the money to do so without feeling like a dick would be
Is this what Father
Morimoto.
intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the
Because I've
past
seen
doesn't
that
hold the
man do
answers
shit
we
with
need.
food that just
It is through embracing innovation, not
belies
adhering to
logic
tradition,
and
that we
reasoning.
will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Did he just yawn? What a
The
douche.
rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shibruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques.
He's putting a lot of
Kitchens have been
emphasis
made
in those
available for your
terms.
use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster.
Okay.
Let the feat of repast begin.
Imagine if they just used level gatekeeping right now.
I've heard of Shibruk Bibil before. It's a lighter wonder.
If they were like, and to progress past this point in the game, you must be a level 94 culinarian. Womp womp. People get to this point and then spend the next 3 weeks straight just cooking shit. How fortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong, and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Heh, of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. I'm not saying I identify more with Wuk-Lamat in this Wuk-Lamat-Ehrenfeld dynamic, as has been discussed. But she does have a lot of unearned confidence in a way that is very indicative. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition has a team of 6. The 2 claimants, Surreal Ja and Bakul Jaja's lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could have been easily avoided. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Jibruk Bibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Vidraal people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. Jibruk Bibil and Jay, one of my favorite meals. Yes, I just said a joke, that's stupid. Okay. Oh, there we go. A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called achiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Our most popular... Ma'am, you are not good at this. Just... I don't wish to come across as insulting, but... Fastidious fellow. The recipe for Jibruk Bibil? I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hun Rook himself. But you mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. Oh, I only hope there's still Ibruk to be had at market. I like that guy. He gets it. He understands. It's like, do you want the assholes to win? No, you want me to win. Imagine the other two show up and they've already got a full meal and they were like, and we're like, what the fuck? And they're just like, we used the Aetheryte. We went back to Tuliolal. We read it in a book. What else? We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if we think you won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Oh, fuck you! What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business! Oh, I'm gonna kick y'all's asses so hard. Aetheryte, full of all the ether that we need. Yeah. Cool. Is it in here? What have we got to do next? No. Ah! A bright banana peel. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. Oh no! It appears I've gone and dropped my najul. I mean, Jatika banana peel. I can barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. There's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Alright, what notes have you gathered? I'm just gonna be real, y'all. So far I know we need to use banana leaves and Ibruk. And that one spice cooked underground. And that is the sum total of what I've picked up here. And I just feel like there has to be more to this shit. There just has to. We're making tamales, y'all. Honestly, I feel like if we do make tamales, they should just give us the win. Because tamales are fucking delicious. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Jibruk Bibil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish, and observation of the techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Shabruk Bibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Gibraltar dishes. Achiote, she called it. I see. Then if Shabruk Bibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alfino claims, we've confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of Najul, or banana, in certain localities. 'Twould seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we'll all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? Ibruk, without a doubt. As would be expected of a dish called Shabruk Bibil, indeed. So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibruk, flavored with a combination of spices that includes achiote, and steamed underground within najul, or banana, leaves. Given our presumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Tancred and I scouted the surrounding forests while you all were exploring the village. Between the local vegetation and wild Ibruk, we should have everything we need in regard to meats and spices. Leave it to a master cleaner. Now I have the tamale song set. Fair. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. Alfino, sure. I, too, should be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I am happy to lead someone to a suitable Ibruk if they will perform the requisite deed. Alize? As for the Najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in the Chatika heartland, forest far below these. Such an excursion may be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati, Anoriand, if you would accompany me on my errand? No better way to whet my appetite. Good. Let us be about our tasks then. Lol, sob, me too. Come on, let's go and get those Najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. Hot tamale, hot, hot. Cold tamale, no, I want... Yeah. Hot tamales in the red hot. Yeah, we got them for sale. Hot tamales in the red hot. Yeah, we got them for sale. Oh, shit. I dig it. I dig it. I dig this look. Plus, I got the slutty bear midriff going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We in our slut era, baby. Let us see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Orion mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. Peak slut era. Peak. What up, Sphinx? How are you today? I tell you what, I know I'm biased. Because, you know, she's my best friend and everything, right? I mentioned I got to attend a, like a party while I was at PAX. Sephi had some great outfits. I'm going to show y'all. She did a little video showing them all off. But I assure you, the one she wore to that party, I walked in the room because I had been gone doing something while she was changing. And I saw that. I literally walked in and I just like Bitch, you look so good. Like, I was really happy for my friend. She looked genuinely fucking gorgeous. Like, truly and genuinely. Am I not logged in? I am. Hold on. Okay. Was this at PAX? Yes, Sphinx. Yeah, this was at PAX. She had a lot of great looks, but the black, you'll understand when you see it, the black dress was the one she wore to said party. Oh, hold on.
Fits. Blue suits me 8.5. Fruity yet my 6. Serving pirate 8.5. Giving doll 9. Good best look 10.
Yeah.
Rating my PAX West fits.
Yeah, that black
Blue
dress at the
suits
end.
me 8.5.
I walked in to the
Fruity
room, like I
yet
said.
my
I
6.
went to go see a
Serving
friend's panel.
pirate 8.5.
Sam Bayard.
Giving
Their
doll
panel.
9.
And I walked back
Good
and I saw
best
this
look
and I was
10.
just like, I was like, you're my best friend. And I am fucking blown away by how good you look. Like, hot damn. Like, just respectfully. She fucking killed it. Yeah, exactly, Sphinx. Exactly. I'm genuinely shocked we went back to the hotel room together. Because I expected I was going to get the tap on the shoulder like, hey, can you come to the room a little late? And they're like, yeah, I understand. I fully fucking get it. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? They are damn good fits. They're looking respectfully, yes, but... Najul leaves for purposes other than Jibruk Bibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forests for more. Golmajik Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tienbeck Traverse, but it has caved in. Due to the recent storm, I suspect. What? But that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat, or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Jibruk Bibil to be delicious but daunting dish to finish. I can't wait. Yeah, I like hyping up my friends, in case it's not clear. Still, if there are no leaves here, and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolal. So perhaps there is something about Jibruk Bibil that we have yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like who was the first to make it. It's history, that sort of thing. If it's Yaktel's history you're interested in, you should start with the old war. Between the Jabral and the Mumul Jah, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Jibruk Bibil. Huh? What does Steam Brook have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem,
I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by war, the village of Ilion Asso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilion Asso? Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place.
I have entirely too much fun bobbing and weaving with video game music. I also will not apologize for it.
The village of Ilion Asso must be further east. Let us continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels.
$415 yalms to the south. Okay, cool. If it was going to be further, I was like, let me do a slight detour, but... Oh, that's one of them holes. I'm good. It's just fun. It's like when you go into a menu and you click up and down in time with the music. Okay, here we go.
So this is the village of Ilion Asso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Wukevu, I didn't know you were in Yaktel. I was picking up lumber from Ikbrax when I heard the Third Promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so followed you here. Wukevu was a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. A pleasure. You're a member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume. For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Kona! Now that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard?
He's gonna recognize and he's gonna freak out. Kona! That's the second promise of Tuliolal? No, to think I addressed the non-servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again.
I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it.
All right, then. I shan't dwell on it. There's not a thing on this earth you can do to convince me this man is not autistic. Not one thing on God... Thank you, Dorian. Not one thing on God's green earth. I have screwed up the social paradigm! Wait, I'm fine? Okay, then you told me not to discuss it, so I literally refuse to discuss it any further.
And right on cue. At least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about the Shibruk Bibil. While I am forbidden by the Shibrak Rags to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I'd be happy to share what I know of Yaktail's history. We'd appreciate that.
In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Vidraal and the Mamul-Ja was one of land. The Mamul-Ja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Vidraal, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Vidraal forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of the village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamul-Ja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Buniwa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged the Vidraal in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hubigo and Bunewa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, his political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of different clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bunewa both, a two-headed Mamul-Ja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first autarch, ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the autarch's rule, the newly united Mamul-Ja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. I don't know, I think this shit is interesting, personally. Like, I just do. Na, 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 na. Oh, hold up. There's one up here. Let me just get it real quick while I'm right next to it, apparently. Where is it? Where are you? Come to me, Ifrit! Oh, shit. Son of a bitch. I do love the battle theme for Tural. This feels like it could be battle music in like an NIS game. Like in the next Geese. Hey. I'm gonna speak my truth here, and I just hope not to be judged. Geese is a long-standing and very popular series, I know. It dates back to very old consoles and has been around forever. And I absolutely did not pronounce its name correctly until like the last couple years. I need to speak my truth. I sure as shit did pronounce that shit wise. And it wasn't until the first time I heard someone call it yeast that I was like, yeah, that probably makes a lot more sense than whatever it is I'm saying. Hold on one second. You thought it was wise too? Welcome. Wise did you... You know what? Charm and Cam, I love that. It's like, you're providing me with the two sides of the same coin situation. Oh, hold on.
Field.
A field of cinders, indeed.
How
fierce their clashes must have been.
Oh, what am I doing?
The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Well, that's what that man do.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Galul Jaja really is about that fucking life.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Okay.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours. If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace.
Puff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest.
Okay, so it's going good.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives.
He's not wrong.
Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us.
To a degree.
Not until those affairs come to Tural, like
Okay.
our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
Oh shit.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
A boat the size of a fucking whale.
Such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
He's smart.
You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest.
Out of wisdom for a reason. Exactly.
By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling.
And this is the flip side of that
any
intelligence,
other
right?
foe.
But Cool Jaja, you see his head is very scheming. This is more like,
these than my companions
I
and
want
I.
peace.
I
Let's
know
use that
we are weak,
for logic.
but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How they Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas.
Wait,
And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
I mean, I know that they tend to look alike
Those
for NPCs,
strengths
but
are born of cooperation. The guiding
Is that
principle
Tobly?
of the nation we envision.
I know that's Gerferler. Like, they've established that.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
Booze. The answer is booze. The answer is booze. Homeboy was still here. Homeboy is still here.
And so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine.
And you
so
have...
it was that the Mamulja
They
partook of
combined
spiced
their...
meat,
I like
and
this
the
shit.
Vidraal steamed Najul.
And then it was brought together.
Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this,
Combine
the Dawn
them.
servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
I like this.
That's Shebruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Shabral
And it makes sense because
Mamulja
truly some of the
cultures,
greatest food
and proof of
in
their
history
newfound
has been
cooperation.
brought about by the combining of different cultures, foods, and
The Dawn
techniques,
servant
right?
had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our
Korean
way
fried
forward.
chicken. Honestly, the spaghetti and meatballs.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shebruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us. What's wrong?
That was Kettenram there, right? Like when the
Someone was there,
when
you
the
say.
echo goes off like that, you're seeing memories.
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
And it was blue. It was the same kind of blue boot
bitter and
at the bottom of the
half-baked,
outfit
no
that he
doubt.
was wearing. And the whole idea is that he disappeared. I feel like they should show Kono why tradition is good as well as advice. You think? I'm not saying that to shout at you, but I'm saying, like, come on, dude. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's myriad cultures, and we're doing the same now. He keeps not fucking getting it. Like, technology can do great things, but it is not the end-all and be-all. Wukevu has given us valuable insight into the origins of Shibruk Bibir. However, we're still no close to procuring the necessary Najul leaves. Unless... Tell me, was that historic feast commemorated in some fashion? With a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. Technology can absolutely help people. It is at its best when it helps people without eliminating the culture therein. It's obviously absolutely not the same thing, but it's the same as how I say, like, streaming ultimately, here it is. Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolize the vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. It's the idea of how, like, streaming took from us the tradition of the trip to the rental store. Right? The family connection of it all. Going to there, looking through all the movies, picking something out. And I'm not saying, like, I get it, it's convenient. And I'm not trying to compare that to a cultural tradition. Obviously, it is not the same thing at all. It doesn't have the same. But I'm saying, like, that is a very simple sort of condensed experience you can use as, like, this is a thing so very many of us remember from our youth. We remember going to the video store. We remember looking around at all the games, all the movies, trying to find the right one that you were going to take so that you could watch the movie or play the game or whatever it may be. And that was how you learned about new games and new movies very often. And it's like that, and just going around, the excitement of it, the trip there was exciting. You know, when manuals were still a thing, you'd be reading it on the car trip back. If it was a video game, you might get some popcorn or something. Obviously, not everyone could take part, but for those who could, that is a really nice memory almost always, and remember that. And so now we have the convenience of streaming, and you can be at home and be like, I want to see this movie, boom, good. And it's more convenient, it's better for people who don't have cars, all these things. I'm not saying it's a zero-sum negative game, but it did eliminate this experience, this sort of tradition that so many people took part in. And so, like, you have to balance with technology that it can often eliminate traditions or experiences in ways you don't foresee until you get there. It's not always bad. It can very much so be worth the losses if handled responsibly. But that is something you got to worry about, and Kona is not taking that lesson. Kona's ideal view of Tural is if it was Charlayan West. As if Tural looked like Charlayan. And all the same technology and advances and everything, and that's how they did everything because it's more efficient and it's better. But in order to become Charlayan, you would lose Tural. Which is a beautiful place, filled with beautiful people. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us through, especially when at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamati, Anoriand, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing! I do miss Blockbuster, Frankie, or the local affiliates that you would find that, like, often would have their own little twists on things. Look here, the soil has recently been overturned. You know, like, here's a very mushy and silly but very true statement. With Sephi and I, we're friends, but we ended up finding out one of the things that connected us very closely with each other as we were talking is my running joke is that we were always supposed to be friends, but I fucked it up and moved away, and I had to find my way back to her. And just purely platonically, because she lived at one point in a small town or in a smaller city about 2.5 blocks from where my grandmother lived and was constantly around and everything like that. And let me tell you, and like the way we figured that out is she brought up a chain that I knew was specific to where we lived, which is Video Thunder. And we ended up triangulating essentially off of that. And like that shared small experience and chain has a special place for me now. It has other memories attached to it, but like that is attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Well, well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here they are. Fresh Najul leaves. Hunmu Rook's doing, I'd wager. There's a poetry in hiding them on this battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. So we planned all this from the start. Thank you again, Wukevu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance, and with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well, Third Promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I've been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. All devised solutions to the Hanu's ailing crops, but you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliaulal and what they hold dear. Yeah, you notice how Kona dropped his head because he's starting to be like, maybe I'm the asshole? Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I am ever at your service. For now, I take my leave. I cannot argue with that. We have what we need. Let us return to Ikbrax. Okay. Let me see something. Can I make it to the other one, or is it, like, down below? Find out shortly. Maybe? This one's gonna be close. I think? Over here. Hey! You mother... Okay. I thought I was gonna have to go back and all the way around. And I was like, you motherfucker. How dare you? Okay, cool. Got that all cleared up. Hey, come on. All right, let's make some food, y'all. Wait, hold on. I got some pants. Are they hoe pants to go with my new hoe armor? They're just colored properly. They're not hoe pants. They're regular pants. I wanted hoe pants. I wanted like some 5-inch inseam. I got that shit tied around my waist and we got some thigh blasters going on. That'd be the real secret. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. All right. What we got going on here? How did everyone fare? We got the Najul leaves. Wukevu came along and helped us find them. Wukevu was here. I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. Explaining his story to everyone. The Galul Jar Jar brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me a little, but to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions. But how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Eorzea and I made another tour of the village and borrowed the cooking utensils we need, with no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I'm pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had to offer. Spoken like a true expert, Erenville and I found our Ebrook, so we should have meat aplenty. It was a spirited creature, so much so that its hunter fell down a Sinot trying to catch it. What part of never speak of this to anyone did you not understand? Alizé is the most confident disaster that you have in this game. I picked a good portion of local herbs, with particular attention to the seeds that yield achiote. I'm told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. One moment, folks. Yellow. I'm finishing up the stream. I didn't get to start until almost 5:30. I didn't leave your house till after 5. I know. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you the timeline. Right, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if you noticed. You're irrelevant! Well, I didn't have 4,000 packs. Hey, do you feel good? Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good about about calling me out on the laptop thing? Do you feel good? I ain't never gonna get a laptop charger ever again in my life, tell you that right now. Bet you I ain't even gonna forget that shit again. Love you, bye. Yeah, there was a whole thing that happened at the PAX panel, and it's in the video that's gonna go up because it's like before the end of the panel, so y'all will see it. But I did manage to look mostly good through the panel and then look like an absolute jackass at the absolute worst moment for the send-off. Yeah. Through further inquiry, did I determine the ideal balance of spices. Then all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one among us is versed in the culinary arts. I can hardly claim profound skill, but I have cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. And you, I hope. I could use your adventurer's grit when it comes to skinning the Ebrook. Speaking of confident disasters, yeah, Dorian, Oh, my mouth is watering already. I'll show y'all before the video goes live. Without further delay, then. I'll show y'all, because it is a thing I could not have scripted it to go exactly the way it did.
Oh, it smells so good.
Good, there is still time. I shall prepare our sample at once.
At first, I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling housecat.
Be quiet, Bako Jaja. No one cares what you think.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dorian.
Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready. Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Shibruk Pibil.
That's not Nanul leaves. That's a fucking taco. That's a soft shit. That is a flour tortilla taco.
This looks amazing.
That's a soft taco. It's fine.
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamulja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Vidraal. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then. In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Shibruk Pibil admirably. Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter. But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yoctel's history of violence and your father's role in ending it. Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Right.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment. Ours is also a faithful example of Shibruk Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
I'm curious. I feel like theirs is going to be more accurate, and I'm curious as to what sort of underhanded shit they did to achieve it.
I see. While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated in spice before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Shibruk Pibil.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
You would have found it if you went and searched.
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
Everything. That leaf.
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Shibruk Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory. Your team will not receive keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
I don't like him. He really is just an asshole at all moments.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
Can we just kill him, please? Please.
This is delicious! The brook's so tender it melts in your mouth, and the way the najou leaf rounds out these spices is sublime. This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
You go, girl. You've earned this one.
Choke on your harmony.
That's a hell of a line.
Come, come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
Don't have to tell me twice.
It's like, fuck yeah, this is the best feat so far. He said choke. He literally told her to choke.
That was bliss.
It was palatable enough, I suppose. To you, who have successfully performed the feat of repast, I present these keystones.
Only 1 feet left.
Well, I should get going then. I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
Kona, you fucking dork.
We can do better than that, surely.
He's a dork, but I do like him. He is officially in the I like him category. He's a dork, and he is too obsessed with his trip overseas to
The
Europe.
6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone.
But he's a good guy.
I forgot something important. Was there any Shipbrook people left? I could really use another helping.
I love her. I really do. I love her, Your Honor. What can I say? Oh, that was so good. I'm already looking forward to having Shibrook Bibil again. Here, Anorian, Creel made more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? Shibrook Bibil. Cannot be retrieved once used, can be used up to 10 times. Oh shit, this gives a lot. New wares are now available from the Vidraal merchant in Eekbrax. Real quick, let me... I'm mortally curious. Is it that we can buy... Shibrook Bibil? Purchase items. Yep. That's cute. I like that. Okay. Oh, shoot. I almost forgot. While I was here, I wanted to... Geisel Greens. Scat. Okay. All right, before I head off, we'll cut off the actual game part here. But before I head off, I am going to show y'all what I was talking about. Ah! He earned my respect when he got upset about it. Yes, exactly. He may be wrapped to his own issue, but his heart's over. Yes, that's when he was like, and when I was like, you know what? This is a good dude. This is genuinely a good dude. Little misguided with some of his thoughts and such, but genuinely a good dude. Okay. Let me display capture. I'm going to show y'all my big folly from the romance panel. Okay. Somewhere around here?
From the end of the panel, but real quick.
No.
Because, like, they're Taylor. Vet, if you go type of character that.
I told you.
Here it is. So this happens. This happens vaguely 5 minutes before the end of it. Hold on.
That's Vet and Eric.
Listen.
Vet is the romanceable companion for the Sith warrior. And
You heard that? Broom. That was I'm gonna punch this up to make sure you can hear it. That was the what up, Ollie? That was the sound of the laptop telling me battery low.
Oh no! Plug it in, Josh.
I would like to move forward because it was my job to charge the laptop.
I told you.
She did. She really did.
and Air Jordan's for the trooper. So, and each, like I said, each date is.
Okay, so that happens. We have a few minutes left in the panel, and then we get to the end, and this happens.
Fact, nobody cares. Panelists so much. Please give them the biggest round of applause of the night. I said biggest.
Okay.
Our lovely enforcers are going to try. Our lovely enforcers are going to try and usher you out, so you will not have time to go check out all of these links. If you want to grab out your phone and just go ahead and snapshot.
And right in that moment
Our
is
lovely
when the
enforcers are going to try and
laptop
usher you out, so you
died.
will not have time to
If
go
you look
check
right
out
over here
all
to the
of
right,
these
you can
links.
see it
If
goes
you want to grab
black.
out your phone and just go ahead and snapshot.
Josh, this is like your first panel or something?
I told you to charge it.
I just say
Is
this
that
is a massive
really
troll.
when it happened?
Oh my
Really
God. Just you could have
This is
actually
the best
plugged it
panel
in when
ever.
it told you to.
You didn't bring the
You
charger.
could not have timed that better. That was hilarious. That's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
God hates me is the main takeaway.
Yeah, that was literally the exact moment it died. Right when I'm like, if you want to take a picture right here, like. You know what? So that's why people are like, oh, you said it was your first panel ever, right? I was like, yeah. How'd it go? It went great for 59 minutes. It went great for 59 of the 60 minutes. I feel it went phenomenal for 59 minutes. And then the 60th minute occurred. But that's basically it. I will be back tomorrow. We'll continue with FF14 with whatever comes after the Feat of Repast. I'm excited to see what comes next. I need to figure out what I'm doing in the middle of the week, if me and Sephi are streaming, what day we are, if so, all of that. My autistic hyper-empathy is so sad for you, but my worship of Loki is giggling. Listen, it is what it is. You know what? It was funny. It was fun. It was a good time. I'm just going to take it for what it is. So don't worry. I promise you I'm cool. That was hilarious. I fully acknowledge it. Other than that, there was something... So here's where I'm at. We're in September now, right? We will 100% have to connect in person again, for sure. The advantage is that PAX East is my birthday. So that's happening. I have to figure out how between now and then, but like my birthday gift to myself is going to be that I'm going to attend PAX East, because I don't remember the exact dates. I just know that May 9th falls during PAX East. So, I will be back with FF14 tomorrow, and then we're going to be pushing as much as we can through the weekends. But the plan is still, it may go on a hiatus during October, because October is still going to be Spoopy Games Month. I plan to check out the Until Dawn remake, most likely. And then if y'all have any other Spoopy game suggestions, please feel free to hit them for me, especially anything I can find to play through certain means, or anything that is unusual but not expensive, you know, a couple bucks on Steam or whatever. I played Crooked Man a couple years ago. That was excellent. I played Faith, the Faith trilogy last year, and for a game with Atari graphics, it sure did freak me the fuck out at more than one point. So there's good shit out there. So if you have any suggestions, if that's your thing, please toss them at me. Feel free to throw them in the Discord, whatever. That's basically it. The panel, I realize the thing is going on, so the PAX panel video is actually probably going to go live Monday, because tomorrow I think I need to host a Honor of Convallaria video. And YouTube is real. YouTube is like the exact opposite of TikTok. TikTok rewards you if you flood them with content through the day. YouTube will throttle your shit if you try doing multiple daily uploads. So, and I don't want to kill myself, especially because I've been seeing some success there. So tomorrow's probably going to be an Honor of Convallaria upload, and then Monday will be the PAX panel. Yeah. That's basically it off the top of my head. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Till next time. I'll catch you later, fam. All right.